Dr. Zelora's tentacles trembled as she stared at the holographic display floating before her compound eyes. The DNA sequence spiraling in blue light should have been impossible. Beside her, the Krithian geneticist, Vortek, made a sound like grinding metal, his species equivalent of gasping. "Run it again," Zelora commanded, her voice barely steady. They had run it 17 times already. The result never changed. Marcus Chen, the human exchange student from Earth, possessed genetic markers belonging to the architect race, the ancient progenitors who had seeded life across 43 star systems over 2 million years ago. Every spacefaring civilization in the known galaxy could trace their evolutionary lineage back to the architect's genetic engineering. Every civilization except humanity. Or so they had believed. The human homeworld was never visited by the architects, Vortex stated, accessing the historical database with a neural implant. Earth lies outside the seeding zone. The geological record confirms no intervention. Yet here stands the evidence, Zelora replied, gesturing toward the quarantine lab where Marcus waited, completely unaware of the revolution occurring in the genetics wing. The young human had volunteered for a routine medical scan, a requirement for all exchange students at the Galactic Institute. Nobody expected to find architect DNA in his cells, markers that designated him as what the ancient texts called a torchbearer, an individual carrying the purest genetic legacy of the creator race. Marcus was scrolling through his datapad when Zelora entered the lab, her diplomatic training barely containing her excitement and confusion. "Mr. Chen," she began carefully, "your genetic scan has revealed something unprecedented." The human looked up with those peculiar binocular eyes, eyes that suddenly seemed far more significant. "Is something wrong, Doctor?" "Wrong? No." "Extraordinary?" "Yes." She activated a privacy field around them. "You carry genetic sequences that mark you as a direct descendant of the architects, the beings who created nearly every sentient species in this galaxy." Marcus blinked. "That's impossible. Humans evolved naturally on Earth. We have the fossil record to prove it." "We know," Zelora said softly. "That's what makes this discovery so profound." Vortek appeared at the doorway, his crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the lab lights. "We've cross-referenced the data with archaeological records. There's a theoretical explanation." Both Marcus and Zelora turned to him. "The architects didn't just seed planets with life," Vortek continued. "Ancient texts suggest they seeded themselves, distributing their own genetic code across countless worlds, through methods we don't understand. Perhaps through quantum entanglement at the molecular level, or directed panspermia reaching beyond conventional space." "You're saying humans are architects?" Marcus asked, his voice rising. "Not exactly," Zelora corrected. "You're saying humanity evolved naturally, carrying dormant architect DNA that was somehow embedded in Earth's primordial soup. You developed independently, yet you carry the legacy of our creators." The implications crashed through Marcus's mind like a supernova. Humans weren't the newcomers to galactic civilization. They were the inheritors of the oldest bloodline in known space, the children of gods, arrived late to a family reunion 2 million years in the making. "What does this mean?" Marcus whispered. Zelora's tentacles formed a gesture of profound respect. "It means, Mr. Chen, that humanity has just become the most important species in the galaxy.